Yes, she is. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
Yo!
And we have a very special guest, Ernie Altbacker. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. I've been really excited to have you on. So for those that somehow live under a rock and don't know who you are, go over some of the projects you've worked on.
Hold on. There's lots of people who are.
I mean, in my audience, let me put it that way.
Unrock the underneath dwelling folks who definitely don't know who I am. But
yeah, okay.
I guess if you are the sort of person, I guess, that listens to this show or goes to a Comic-Con every now and again, I write a lot of animation, but what I'm known for is kind of the DC animated features, such as Batman Hush, Justice League Dark, Injustice, Green Lantern, Beware My Power, and like a couple more.
Sweet. Yeah. It's like I've seen a lot of this. So the thing is, I need to say this to open up. So normally I hate the Injustice story. I love the movie. Let me put it. I'm one of the few people that was like, oh, that movie would actually improve the story.
So you're the one.
Yes, okay. I am the one. It's because the whole idea about how Superman turning evil just because Lois dies is kind of like, then why is he that could happen at any point. However, it's like the movie made it a little more like palatable, at least to me. It's more like, okay, I see how this goes.
You know what? I mean, it seems with that movie, and I love it. I love what the animation director did with it, and he's Rick Morales. Jeez, man, I'm getting old, getting the dory fish mind where I'm just forgetting everything. But you know, that it seems like the people that are fans of the story, they got some issues on what was picked, right? And that wasn't all me, okay? But the people that are not huge comic book people who maybe like the movies, you know, the live action movies and stuff, and if they dip into this, they seem to like it a lot more. You know, it's an Elseworld story. Superman goes bad, and there's a lot of cool action. There's some cherry sequences in there. Certainly, it was a video game first. Tom King, no, not Tom
Taylor.
Tom King wishes he had seen it.
Tom Taylor wrote the adaptation, so we leaned on both heavily. And Warner Brothers came to me, and they were like, "Here, read this stuff." And it is like, like a foot and a half of stuff, okay? And I go, "Oh, wow, great. Are we going to do like a trilogy or something?" And they go, "No, one movie. One 7
What?
movie." Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
I go, "Come on, man. We're doing like Mortal Kombat's got 3 or 4. Can't we do a couple here?" And they go, "Nope, it's only going to happen one time. And so you might as well cherry pick." And so I'm looking at the
sounds
comments.
Like WB.
That explains a lot.
I'm looking at the comments and I'm like, well, I'm going to intro Plastic Man into this animated feature universe because
murdered it.
He's awesome.
So well.
I was
so
like,
good.
He must be in this movie. So I it's mostly from year one, but there's a lot of other stuff that we picked out, and you know, I like it. I like the animation. You know, at first the heavy lines and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, but then it's really grown on me. I never like commenting on the art choices because I'm always wrong. Like I can look at something and I go, that's terrible, and then about a year later I go, no, it's not terrible. You were wrong. It's awesome. You know. So
the other thing that I really dig about it as a Wonder Woman fan is, again, because in the comics and the games, Wonder Woman's is the bad guy of Injustice, but in this it was like no, she eventually turns against Superman. I'm like, that's realistically what would actually happen if this ever occurred. So I'm like, thank you.
You know, and that was one of the things is there's a lot of characters, and so some of those had to be put together, their plot lines, and I'm like, I can't just have Wonder Woman go along. And there was also this thing with the Flash. There was a couple of these DC animated movies where he changed what happened by running on a cosmic treadmill, and in fact, I did it myself on Justice League Dark Apokolips War, right?
Also,
so
awesome, by the way.
We got to get rid of the Flash. I want to give his whole arc to Wonder Woman and make her more fully developed. That yes, she's in love with Superman / Clark, but also she sees, oh my God, he's taking a wrong turn here. And, I wanted to keep her as a warrior, where she would be like, why didn't you kill the Joker? You were stupid, Batman. And I think that's a good call. That's a call. I don't pick a side in that one. I want the audience to go, Batman's got some really good points. But Superman's got some really good points too. I wanted to write down the middle.
My place on that is that both are to blame for what happened, because Batman is to blame because when Clark was vulnerable, Batman was just like, screw you, bro, you killed someone. And I'm like, if you had been there for him like a bro, he probably would not have gone down this really dark place.
Yep. Especially when you're saying, why are you killing parademons when parademons are mindless beings?
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is I really dug that, because too many adaptations tend to make Wonder Woman like the villain or like a bloodthirsty warrior, and I'm like, no. Okay, so I need to ask, because you mentioned she's in love with Superman. I gotta ask the question that my audience is gonna tell me. Where do you stand on the Superman with Wonder Woman or Superman with Lois?
I think I come down on the lowest side. Sorry.
All right.
Their love is so true. But I can definitely. I loved writing it. That super couple would just dominate the earth. I mean, that would end a lot of stories. So.
I mean, it depends on the story. I mean,
true.
They've done it in the comics before to great effect. But yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention. So in preparation for the interview, I watched Aztec Batman, and I need to say that movie surprised me, because it was like I went into it like, all right, let me see this. The way that Batman lore somehow fits into this world so well, I'm like as soon as I see the Joker, it's like I see it coming, but I see it coming like, oh, that's good. Wow.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that when they came to me, I was like, man, I don't know if I know the culture enough to be doing this, or why me? And they were like, no, we don't need you for that. We have the people that were kind of in charge, not the least of which was Juan Mazleon, great director, great animation director. It's his first movie, but he's directed a couple things you might have heard of, like Rick and Morty, Harley Quinn, Final Space, Regular Show, and on and on. And then we also had an expert that had a doctorate in pre-Columbian civilization. So everything went through him. And there's some really cool stuff in there that we couldn't have scenes like. At one point I was like, Aztec Batman, barricades the door as the Spanish try and break it down. And they're like, nope, no doors. And I'm like, okay, that's a wrinkle. There's only going to be a curtain there. But that was my job, was to put the Batman mythos in there to where it's fairly seamless. And in some cases, like I wanted to get some sort of love interest, if you will, or at least a little relationship tension with a Catwoman character. Well,
Yep.
they have a Jaguar deity and stuff. So I'm like, Jaguar woman, but she's different. She will kill you.
Right.
She's more lethal, but she's Robin Hood. She doesn't steal because it's a shiny bauble.
And the Jaguar's a cat, so you still got that.
Yeah.
So we have it. The fans can see it, but also she stands as a character on her own.
Mm-hmm.
The whole what I really liked of it was the huge heavy lift of it, and I kind of put this thing on myself. Was I was like, it's already been done before that. There's a time tunnel. Batman Ninja did it. We're not going to do it any better than that. Okay.
Right.
So I want to create the Batman or set the Batman mythos organically into the height of the Aztec Empire to where it's kind of seamless and give them their own origins. And so this isn't Bruce Wayne coming from Gotham. It is a kid who is in the elite. He's a chief's son, and he's not a billionaire heir, Bruce Wayne, but he's got that kind of level above where he just wants to dance at first and have fun at the feasts and stuff. And all of a sudden he takes this tremendous weight on his shoulders to try and at first gain vengeance, but then getting justice for for the Aztecs that are being wronged by Cortez.
Which I dug, and the idea of like Cortez becoming Two-Face, I was like, again, it's like as soon as I see all this stuff, I'm like, oh wow, that's very, very, very. It's like, again, it's like everything, and I can back stuff as a viewer. Everything feels like, okay, it naturally progresses to the point where you're like, okay, so he's the Alfred character. He's like the Two-Face character. So it's like, it wasn't, because there are some movies where when they try and do that, it's like, oh, and this is, they'll turn like Selena Kyle into a like Aztec sounding name and just have her name Selena like Kyle, or like Two-Face's name will be Harvey, like the Spanish version of Harvey Dent, but it's like, no, it's just original characters, just they fulfill those roles. What do you want to ask, Robert?
Yeah, guys, this movie, from what I'm hearing, sounds so much, because I'm an Elseworld aficionado. Jared can attest to that.
Yeah.
My bookshelf, I have almost 99% of the Elseworld. This feels so much like a proper original Elseworld, more so than even Gods and Monsters did. Yeah.
Well, I do got to tell you that at first I was making that mistake. I tried to give him a name like Bruce Wanyo, Ito. Yeah, no, just for a placeholder at first. And the expert came down hard. It's like, no, in the Nahuatl language, there are no B's, there are no R's, and there's no 5 other letters, right? So it was there's no L. Right?
That's curious.
No, there is an L. But Alfred and Bruce were no good. So those names actually mean something. So I went through the Google, and I went to 3 different sources because nobody else wanted to pick a name. They're like, oh, we don't want to screw it up. So his name is Yowali Kotal, and Yowali means darkness or night.
Nice.
And Kotal is like the end of Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl. I'm aware of that.
And that means this like flying reptile, or at least it means reptilian. And I figured it was flying because of Quetzalcoatl.
Close enough.
But the interesting thing about it is there's a subtextual layer to it, meaning transformation by shedding the skin. And I'm like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So even if nobody gets that deep into it, I know that name's good. A Katzen means small reed. And in the story, what does he do? He keeps bending back when Yowali goes, the gods are stupid, they're not listening, stuff like that. But he keeps coming back, springing back and going, no, you are chosen. No, you are chosen. And then he ends up wearing him down, and he finds out that, oh, shit, Kateson is correct. Now, Yoka was an actual Aztec name. Doesn't really fit. It was okay with the letters, but it was so close of a sound alike to Joker that I was like, everybody was like, no, keep that.
Yeah,
keep that. That one works. Keep it. So, yeah.
It works. But the other thing, and then I'll hand over to Robert, is like, thank you for not making the Joker the main bad guy, because every single Batman movie does that. It's like, at least I'll take Two-Face at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now
we had to put him in. We wanted the Aztec version of Joker. But at first it could have gone totally different. I mean, this thing was 5 years ago, but it was a long development process, and Warner Brothers had to get on board with it and stuff. At first, the first most logical guy is Ra's al Ghul.
Right. Oh, okay.
That we say that he wandered over there and he has worked his way up, and he's the main priest. And then what he does is, because of young Yawali's parents are gaining strength and people are listening to him, they're reformers. He says, "Oh, the gods have told me you guys must sacrifice yourself." Being good Aztec citizens, they do. At that point, the young kid knows that high priest is full of crap and he's not talking to the gods.
So in other words,
starts working from the inside against Aztec society. But it was canned because it was too sacrifice heavy. They're like, no. We cannot have a scene where you're ripping out Thomas Wayne and his wife's heart. They were like,
Eat your heart out.
You betrayed Shiva. Sorry.
What do you want to add, Robert?
Well, first I was going to say was that's, in a loose way, sounds like one of the first Batman Elseworlds, Holy Terror. A little bit. That was though where it's the religion. Like, what if the church took over? But it was something very similar where someone decided to overthrow the Waynes because they were speaking up too loudly and everything. So kind of reminded me of that.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's a good one. Of
Man,
course,
I know.
I gotta show off.
He's out.
Well, Robert's getting himself, but yeah, that does. See, here's the thing. So in a way, Ra's al Ghul almost became Joe Chill.
Yes,
that is actually really cool.
We want to now we have Cortez as basically Joe Chill, and
there it is.
And we needed.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen it, the plot device of when his mother died from a fever earlier, but he still remembers her, is that leads to his spiritual break. And then it really takes hold to where he doesn't want to hear about it from Alfred Kateson after his dad and village are slaughtered by Cortez, So I thought that one fit too. And they just liked Cortez as Two-Face more. He's actually Two-Face and Deathstroke with a sword.
I figured. Yeah, that's. I was like, I'm getting some Slade Wilson in on this. So the other thing is, like, I have a lot of people that want me to ask about Hush, but Robert as a question will lead into that.
So, okay, how is it both easy and difficult trying to both adapt a comic work, but at the same time also fitting it into an already established universe, like you had to do for Hush or Judas Contract? And on a side note, was there anything in Apokolips War you took from, or was it a whole original?
Okay, so actually I'm going to answer a question of Cameron's. Why so many changes? That goes back to goes back to 1.5 foot of stuff. Now I will answer in Hush. It's 12 issues of, I believe at that time, 23 pages a piece.
Yep.
We have 72 minutes. There's no way I couldn't even get Teen Titans and Judas Contract is 3 regular issues and 1 double issue, and we had to cut out the entire origin of Deathstroke, which is one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
I read that when I was 14 years old, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get that. He's in the jungle. He's being trained by the wife. Oh, this is going to be great. Nope, could not.
Nope.
So definitely couldn't fit everything in Hush, and times 10 couldn't fit everything in Injustice. So sorry, Cameron. Tried.
Right.
Yeah. But like,
yes.
how do you balance that? Because it's like, I imagine it's hard because not only do you have to decide, okay, what am I taking from the original book, but also how do I make it work in this already established like movie world that they had at that point?
See, that's the other thing. We already had Nightwing, right? So we can't get the origin of Nightwing. And then I want to say we didn't have Mr. Terrific in it. They wanted Cyborg. Oh, wait. Oh shoot, I'm mixing stuff up right now. But
that whole universe got complicated. So
yeah, right. I mean, we already had Starfire in it, right? So we showed her origin. There was a big discussion on that, whether it actually should be when Slade Wilson's son is killed. Right? Geo Force?
No, not Geo Force, Ravager.
Ravager, right? Yep. Yeah, that's a better villain name.
Yeah, Geo Force was from Outsiders.
But James Tucker really wanted to get the old Teen Titans
right
there, so we went that way. The sequence is really fun.
It is.
I'm in on it. He makes great choices. So there was a bunch of stuff. The one that some people have a bit of problem with Hush is me putting the villains together and actually killing off, Thomas. What's Hush's name?
Elliot.
Thomas Elliot.
Oh right? Yeah, and turning the Riddler into Hush. Yeah.
Because we had the Lazarus Pit, and I'm like, why not give him a little more? Give him more powers to where he has this like breakthrough. It boosts his body to where he's totally different. They know Riddler knows that nobody's going to take him seriously. He's not going to be able to control all those big A-list villains. But this new guy who's super strong and way smarter than them can. So, and then of course we toss him into a freaking meat grinder. So there you go.
I never really had that much of a problem with the change. I mean, I get why the change was made. It's like, it's one of those things that's like, okay, I get creatively why you had to do it.
Right.
DC actually was like, you know what? When we were doing Batman Hush, everybody knew from the get-go, it's the new guy. Weird stuff is happening in issue 1, and the only new thing is it's the new guy. 50% of people like just honed in on him. So that's why around issue 4 and 5, just everybody was coming in. It's like, could it be Red Hood? Could it be this? Could it be that? You just needed everybody in there. And so we wanted to throw everybody a curveball that was fan of the movies. Now, some people don't like that. They want it exactly as is. The animation supervisors, I think Jay Oliva said it best one time. It's like, I'm given a recipe and I want to put my own spin on it. So
nice.
Stuff always changes because they just don't want to do the
one-to-one. You don't want to do a one-to-one adaptation.
Where like everybody knows, and okay, now you're seeing it moving, or now you're seeing it in animation. But some people love it. Just like The Watchmen came out, and it was pretty, by the book, and I loved it. It was fun to watch that.
With me, it's like, as long as you get the overall like plot of the book, in other words, the key plot points that have to be in Hush, which you did, I'm like, okay, fine. Throw
a curveball.
I mean, again, here's the thing. It's like, if I want to read a Hush as it originally was, I have the comic. I'll just go read the comic. That's it. It's like if you do like the adaptation. Plus, here's the thing: some things aren't going to translate well to animation. Plus, you probably didn't even have time to do the Jason part of the story. So it's like you gotta speed it along.
I would love that.
It's like Gotham by Gaslight when they decided, rather than this new character, let's have Jack the Ripper be Commissioner Gordon.
True.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this always comes up too. Cameron again. Good question. Yeah, that one.
Oh boy.
So, I don't know if you've read the original comic, Cameron, but the original one has Slade shacking up and Svengali-ing Terra, and she is 16 years
There's a reason why people think Slade has a certain reputation. Let me put it that way.
We actually bumped that up to where she was an acceptable age. Still gross, but acceptable. Yeah. And it's very much a thing of she's using him and he's using her.
Now,
but boy, oh boy, when that came out, that was a bit of when I was reading the comic, it's like, damn, this guy's like 45 or 50 years old, banging this 16-year-old girl, and she's smoking after in the 90s. It's like, we have nothing like that in there.
Which I gotta ask though, given the cartoon and what they established was Terra, and this has led to so many people think, oh, Terra in the comics was like the cartoon. She wasn't. Did that ever come up during production where you were ever worried that people were going to assume, why is she being like this and not the sweetheart from the cartoon?
That did not come up. We don't really go. We go off of the comic and not other interpretations of it.
Good to know. Good to hear.
Justifiably, it's like when I had Sam Liu on the show a while back. One of the things that he said is that everyone's like married to the era or like the iteration of these characters that they came into, and I get that. It's just what sometimes annoys me is people act like that's the only iteration of the characters that's ever existed, or the only valid one. And I go, these characters have existed for 80 years. There's no one adaptation of these characters.
Definitely. Now, my other question
it's like Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever Doctor Who you started watching is mostly yours, except
Matt Smith.
Yeah,
for me, it's Matt Smith.
And Mike, who was when did they bring it back? Who was
Eccleston?
So,
and then
I started watching, but I am a David Tennant guy.
And
I loved Eccleston. Eccleston's great, but Tennant just like blew it apart.
Yes,
I think it's him and Matt Smith in the top 5 also, and then there's some old the guy from the 70s, of course, with the star. Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. Yep, but my other question I'd ask, I think I got lost in everything, was Apokolips. No, it's all right, because I asked you a multi-layered question. That's all right. In Apokolips War, Justice League Dark Apokolips War, was that based on anything like Dark Side War or anything, or was that all original?
You know what? We wanted to work toward the Dark Side War, or I think James Tucker did, but then he ended up switching out and taking some other great job at Warner Brothers to do that, and had to wrap his Tuckerverse up basically in Apokolips War. So we didn't have a bunch of the people, like we didn't have Supergirl in it. So there were some major elements. And so that is more of an original, but obviously standing on the shoulders of all the different, comics and stuff that had been before it.
I gotta say,
I love that one. I love
me too. It's the minute I see like a Parademon Doomsday hybrid tearing off Wonder Woman's arm, I'm like, oh, it's one of those types of movies. Oh my god.
Yep.
I just love the shell shock that comes from watching like the Justice League get like bodied within like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my god.
They had I think there was like an internet meme that someone made up of like Avengers. God, what was the final one in Avengers?
Endgame.
Jesus, I'm not doing well today. Remember that. So in Endgame, it's like they had a picture of Tony Stark. It's like Tony Stark dies, and then it was like hold my beer, and then there was a picture of all these people just getting ripped apart. I mean, a lot of them were.
I remember that now. I remember that.
Or like when a Doomsday clone tears Black Manta in half, just lifts them up and just.
There's stuff that didn't even get in there. That's.
But I will say it has one of my favorite Superman moments when he gets repowered up and he like beats the crap out of Darkseid and goes, "You took everything away from me, and now I'm gonna make you pay, dude."
Yep. And also,
he like gouges his eyes out. I'm like, ah.
Hey, come on, Darkseid versus Trigon.
Can't believe that got kind of in there. That one, I was like, whoa, animators, what's happening?
Yeah.
But
as I see Superman gouge out Darkseid's eyes, I'm like, oh, that's hardcore.
Between that and I think my next one was Injustice, and I also did the DC Showcase House of Mystery, the Constantine one.
Oh yes!
I also did that. I was like the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want death? I shall show you death. I shall kill Constantine 50 ways.
Many times.
Yeah.
Geez, that was such. That other one was like a real, like, I guess, sleeper hit for like the Constantine one, because it's like the idea that like it was Constantine's guilt. He was sent there because it's basically heaven. And then it was like, because of his guilt, he made it his own hell. And I go, oh, that is good.
And then that played into Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? Okay, so you got it. I was just gonna say, I wonder how many people realize, and it's easy to miss because that's a DC Showcase, so it's technically short, but it's like 30 minutes or 20
I loved it,
right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, so in those, let me get this right. Yeah, so at the end, remember there was the Flash reset in Apokolips.
Flashpoint, yeah.
So that short is actually the linchpin into the Tomorrowverse.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, okay.
And some shorts count, like the one with Adam Strange.
Yep.
Using the same Adam Strange character and those people. So you're not really complete if you haven't seen the where Constantine gets. They don't say it. But he hurls him into the universe, right? Like, no, not that. He becomes pariah.
Yeah.
And then I wrote another one with John Semper, the great John Semper of Spider-Man fame, and now he's doing Hunters. And for Green Lantern, Beware My Power, and there's a homeless person that he saved from being beat up. Yeah, that's Constantine.
Yeah,
that's his voice.
As soon as I heard his voice, I'm like, wait. I know that guy.
And I heard from Josie Campbell because I talked to her. She said it was as far back as the Legion movie. They were already preparing for Crisis. And everything. That by that point it was already decided. Oh no, she's going to be Harbinger, like and all that. But I just want to hear from your take. So from what she told me, that it was like even by that point they had no idea what was going to go on with James Gunn. Like what were they going to keep going, whatnot? So it was decided, let's just end it here. Let's just give a big finale now. And then it was only towards the release they realized, oh, we didn't have much to worry about, but. The trigger's been pulled. Is there a little truth to that?
I don't know about that. I know they were going for the trilogy of Crisis, and Josie's great. She worked on with myself and Jeremy Adams and Jim Krieg, Justice League Warworld, right?
Yes.
Which is also part of it. Of the
Speaking
Crisis.
of Superman and Wonder Woman being a couple, I have to.
I did. Each of us got one of those stories. I think Jeremy did Batman as Conan, basically in a warrior style world. Josie did the Superman noir. And I pitched Wonder Woman as basically the woman with no name, Clintina Eastwood.
I love that. So that was you. Oh man,
I was gonna say,
that was
like,
a good one.
and that wait, so I gotta ask, was
I
that
only wrote that section.
right?
Jim did the whole frame, and then we did the 3 interludes at War World, basically.
Was there any connection? Like, did you at all read Justice Raiders? Because I thought that's what that was based off of, was Justice Raiders, because that's pretty much the same thing.
I don't know that one. Sorry.
It's an Elseworlds where everyone's basically in a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, so
I didn't know. I thought I was pitching something new, and then I heard, no, she's been in the Western world. But I'm like, is she the woman with no name where she doesn't talk a lot, you know? And
no. She talked plenty. She talked plenty.
So, I got 2 questions. They're both Green Lantern questions. So you worked on the Green Lantern animated series, which is perfect, by the way. So what were the plans? Can you please tell people what the plans were if that continued on?
Yes. Well, first of all, we got stopped from doing the Yellow Lantern, the Sinestro War, because they did it in the live action movie.
Yeah.
So that's why we had Ron Perlman as our Sinestro, and then we only used him once.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
And so I'm turning into a Yellow Lantern, but we were going to do the whole thing about him taking over Korrigar and coming in and seeing it. It's like, what is going on here? You know? So we couldn't do that. And we did the Red Lantern War. And then after that, if you notice in one of the not in Ganthet's study, I think it's in the woman
Sade
Blue Meanie.
Saeed?
Yeah. No, is that her?
Scar.
In her library, there is the Black Lantern symbol.
I noticed that. I was like, is that what I think it is?
So
of course, it's Scar. Yes.
That's what was going to be in the next 13.
Yes.
Thanks, Ryan Reynolds. Jeez.
No. Yeah, because we're aware of the toys. It was because the toys didn't sell because stores were like, we got the movie toys. Why do we need these?
Yeah, I believe, and this is it's not. It's a 5th-hand quote. But one person went in there and it's like, come on, we can do the Green Lantern toys from the cartoon. And they're different. And he's like, if I go pitch my boss one more, doing another Green Lantern series of toys, I will be immediately fired. Because we have so many Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern toys that we can't help them back for scrap or whatever.
Oh, geez.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
But my follow-up question, so Beware My Power. Speaking of, so was that also a thing about trying to like put in like a lot of, because that seemed to be pulling from like a ton of different Green Lantern stuff, whether or not it's like Emerald Twilight, the Kyle Rayner stuff, but giving it to John. How did that work?
Well, Jim Krieg had this idea. He was running it after Alan Burnett, like basically pitching the stories that the animators were going to do. So they have to approve it. And what he wanted to do was, I want Green Lantern and Green Arrow to get together, like on the road, right? The 70s cartoons. But I want him in space. I think that'll be great. And it's basically Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, or you might know it as Apokolips War.
Yeah.
You have all the beats of Apokolips War in there. They go to the thing where no one knows what they're doing, and the battling, and like there's a bunch of beats from that we put in there. Big discussion on, say, do we? I guess the people, someone on high was like, well, we really need it to be a John Stewart story. So Hal's got to be. He's got to go. He's got to be the bad guy. We saved him. He gets taken away by the Zeta Beam. And that's why he appears in the Crisis. But I think some.
So he's not dead.
So some of us on the writing side were like, well, why can't John Stewart pull Parallax out of Hal Jordan, and they fight together? And so Jon Stewart saves him and whatever. And for some reason, it was a no.
Someone had it out for hell.
I don't know, but I think we could have had our cake and ate it too.
Maybe it's like some long standing like hatred of Hal Jordan because of the movie.
Maybe because they were a Kyle fan growing up.
I don't know. I mean, the movie stands on its own pretty well, and certainly John Semper, he really added a lot, being an African American screenwriter to that. Kind of followed his lead on that, it was really fun because I got to be. He did Spider-Man. I don't know what are the kids calling it these days? Spider-Man 95 or Spider-Man
94. 94 is what the comic is calling it.
Okay, so he was the showrunner for that, and he hired Jim Krieg, and then Jim got me in there to pitch myself, and then I ended up on the last season of it. When Jim was in that position, he's like, I want to do a Green Lantern, and I want John and you to do it together. So it's basically like a Spider-Man 94 reunion.
Yep. I love that cartoon. That's what helped get me into comics. One of the things.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. It's like, so now that I know that Hal is not dead, it's like, okay, that movie's a little more palatable for me now. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
No, he's not dead. He's not dead.
Okay, that really.
Well, then crisis happened, so who knows where he is?
Well, yeah. And then Cameron asked, did any of you, when working on the movie, want to have John and Vixen be a couple?
I'm not sure. You know what? It's been a while. John and Vixen. Nope, I don't know.
No worries.
It's all good.
Because I did the. So here's how we split that up with John. John and I know each other so well. I wrote the first half of the movie, and then he wrote the second half of the movie at the same time. Then we talked a lot. It's like, hey, I'm putting this thing in the first act. Can you pay it off in the second half? And then we switched, and he got his dialogue. I'm on. I got it. It's like, hey, you got my peanut butter, your chocolate. Chocolate and peanut butter. And that way it smooths out. It's not such a. It's not such a, someone else is writing here. We even changed our formatting to where it was exactly the same, so it would run fairly seamlessly. So that, I know I had Vixen early in the thing, but it was too much at that point to start something, because it's his first day of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
All this happens in his first day.
This is basically. Like, that was too many things to jam in. Like, you can't also have the, oh my God, I might be falling in love. Like, my heart is full from my Vietnam tragedy. I don't know,
exactly.
My Gulf War tragedy.
Yeah, exactly. Gulf.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it's like. That's the interesting part about that. And it's kind of funny. Every time I talk to people that worked on these movies, and I hear all these Jim Krieg stories, it's like it's like my other co-hosts and I are huge fans of him because of how much he clearly respects Wonder Woman. So it's like, to hear all this stuff, it sounds like he was a pleasure to work with.
Oh yeah, no, he's we went to the AFI together, the American Film Institute, and we got thrown together in the initial group. It's called, oh Jesus, I forget what it's called, but there's an initial project that we do in like 2 days, right? And then there's 3 cycle projects after. So we had so much fun on the first boot camp, the boot camp project that I actually did one of his cycle projects that actually became like a straight to video movie that I wrote a couple of years later for a different company, which was kind of fun.
Nice.
So Tell us about your comic Area 51 Studios. I'll share screen.
All right. So yeah, I'm working on a comic. It is basically everything you know about Area 51 is wrong. It's actually a film studio where aliens shoot low budget galactic reality TV and movies because Earth is such a backwater, and it's a cheap location to shoot. So if it's kind of like Seth Rogen's The Studio, or for older folks, Larry Sanders Show mixed with Men in Black.
Oh, I love that.
I get that when you did Men in Black, that says it all.
Mm-hmm. If you look down on it, I think we got a couple of the variant covers. And my artist is Josh White. He's kind of awesome.
He's good.
So there's a variant cover that we have. I mean, basically it's obviously the Matrix, but he's on the phone giving script notes. That's by Livio Ramondelli, who actually is quite a big deal of an artist that does Transformers for IDW and Star Wars covers, and has worked for both Marvel and DC, I think. And then if you go a little lower, there's a Josh White. He did the main cover and this one. That's another variant of basically Return of the Jedi variant with our characters. The back cover actually has a couple more of our characters on it, so it's like kind of a wraparound. I don't have that picture right now, but yeah. So I mean, basically, we're about 2 weeks in. We made the funding thing, but I would love if people check it out. You can get there on, if you want to put a thing in the chat, it's area51comic.com /KS for Kickstarter. And you can check it out if you like that kind of stuff. But it's unlike stuff that I've done before, which tends to be grimmer and darker.
Dark Apokolips War, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. I did like Justice League Action and Ben 10 and things like that too. So, but this one's basically more of a Douglas Adams tone.
Yep.
It's got a weirdness to it that I really love. It's going to be I had written a novella a long time ago. We actually have the novella on there also. Basically, I've divided it up into 4 issues. So that's going to be the first story arc. And then we're going to put that into a trade, or a graphic novel. And then if people like it, we shall see that we'll do more, I guess. But,
so, you know what I've noticed? You worked on Justice League Action. You seem to work on a lot of projects where Superman and Wonder Woman are together. I'm just saying, bro.
Oh, I totally will put them together. You're just asking me which one do I think is the more perfect, And I think him dealing with a regular flesh and blood non-superpowered person is, I think it brings up a little more interesting problems for the relationship that he is.
Yeah.
Well, then again, what do I'm the dude on the internet that has the reputation of hating the character of Lois Lane. That's just me. Robert knows that.
Yeah.
Robert knows that.
I have to put up with it.
How can you hate her? I mean,
let's just say some writers have used her as a mouthpiece throughout the era that I was reading DC Comics to crap on Superman and Wonder Woman being together. So I'm like, yeah. And plus, again, I came in the era of comics when they were together, when Superman was with Wonder Woman. So I'm like, that's always kind of gonna be my thing there.
Quick question about your work. So I just double checked. So you worked on with Extreme Ghostbusters. The Jersey Devil made me do an episode. You and Creek both worked on that. How was working on that show?
That was really fun. It was my second job, even though I think in the Kickstarter it's first. But the Spider-Man was my first job for money, which is always nice when they give it to you. It's the highest award and honor you can get they hire you. But it was really good. It was a fun show. I remember we pitched a bunch of things and they were good, but they were like, no, we're doing something like that. And then they didn't know at that point the Jersey Devil was not known. Now there's a Jersey Devil movie and stuff. Yeah. But and it appears on most episodes of anything like Brothers Grimm. Yeah. It's like when they get down past the greatest hits and then the weird ones like the Aswang from like the Philippines or something, they'll always come to the Jersey Devil. Well, I was one of the first ones who pitched it. Jim knew Jim's from Michigan. He didn't know anything about it. I'm like, I'm from Michigan. Monster. There's this horned goat monster, walking up horse with horns called the Jersey Devil. And Jim's like, stop right there. Stop digging. You've struck gold, So.
Yep. That's your Spider-Man. I see you did the part 3 of the Secret Wars. That must have been something to wrap that up.
Well, I did a piece of that. As a staff writer, you're basically the showrunner's hand. So I actually worked on more than that, but I only got 1 credit. Yeah. Right. I wrote a bunch of Secrets of the Six.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that show. I just loved once it went episodic, it's really when it really started taking off.
I remember that as being my first joke to get past The Room was when Spider-Man is facing off against the Kingpin and the Kingpin goes, someone else, I think John was like, yeah, just have him say something like, oh, Spider-Man wanted an unexpected treat. And I was like, what if Spider-Man answered, if I was you, Kingpin, I'd cut down on the treat. and it killed The Room. It killed. I mean, it freaking killed. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I am the man now.
It made it because then it has to make it through animatic and then the final down and stuff. And a lot of times those tales are jokes. It's like, this doesn't deal with the plot. Let's cut it. And I'm like, don't cut all the humor.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man.
Don't be a joke killer here. But that one went through, and I was so proud when it was on TV. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's such a Spider-Man thing for him to say. My God,
it's definitely Peter Parker.
Yep. And last Spider-Man question though is, I know you probably have heard this. John's probably heard this so much. All the rumors people say about like, oh, we can't land on a thing with pigeons or all that stuff. How many of those so-called censor notes were true, and how much of it has been made up, exaggerated?
Oh man, the BS and P notes. They would come and there'd be a page or two each time, but some of them were just like kind of. I remember one that I got was, "Don't have Kingpin lift Spider-Man up by his head," So
what? So they were that ridiculous.
Some of them were quite ridiculous.
Yeah, because I've heard the ones like he can't land on, like they can't land on a rooftop with their pigeons there. He can't punch. He can only kick.
Yeah, no, he punched no one.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that.
There was no guns. We had energy weapons, so we were jealous. We were jealous of Batman because we weren't allowed to break glass. If you see a building go down or something, you never hear or see the glass breaking or like blow out or anything like that. Not in the entire Spider-Man.
Right.
And then here's Batman.
And then you have Morbius. I must have plasma. Or Carnage must have been a pain in the butt to get through.
I wish I wrote that one, but that's a great episode. I don't know. They probably had a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Like, make the tongue smaller, or if the writers were doing something, it would be like the tongue cannot go on Spider-Man's face.
For Venom,
that would just be out. And I don't know why it was so different. So it's crazy.
I remember there was a story of the SMP notes for like the Super Friends where they were like, okay, so we knocked a box that has a spider on the ground. Can you have a shot showing the spider's okay?
I totally believe that.
The funny part about that is that they were so like that So I'm like, and you let them use Darkseid as a villain?
The Dark Seed, remember? That's how they.
Yeah, but it's like
know.
that villain.
I know at some point that Spider-Man tried to get thrown into a pigeon coop just to have that pigeons blow out of it, and they were like, no, some pigeons might be killed during the making of this cartoon.
Oh, so that's where that came from instead of landing on the roof, because that's where the joke always was. Like, he can't land on the roof if there's pigeons on there. So no.
I think they were just like, no pigeons. We don't want any pigeons, so we're going to write this note. So that's probably a real note. It wasn't a note on one that I touched, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think I ever landed him on the roof or tried to throw him into a pigeon coop.
That is nuts. It's just I love that, but it's like a similar situation was when the Man of Steel movie was going through production.
Oh no!
Warner Brothers was reading the script, and I assume you know the essentials of Superman's origin, correct?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, I have to ask that for the following question. So WB legit asked the writer, you shouldn't destroy his childhood ship. How's he supposed to get back to Krypton?
Oh, wow.
And the writer literally says it blew up.
I believe James Gunn answered that with I don't think we need to see Batman's parents getting gunned down. I don't think we need to see baby Superman riding in a rocket ship anymore.
Just
assume
he crashed. Any origin, pick one.
Yeah, my guess is whoever said that was still thinking they were using the J.J. Abrams script where Krypton didn't blow up. That's my only justification. That still sounds like
it was just Warner Brothers.
That's true too.
Could be that.
I mean, sometimes people that give perfectly good notes that make stuff better, they'll just write something down and not think about it, not go over it, and then later they'll be like, I don't know what I was thinking. Ignore that. So it could be one of those too.
True.
It could for sure.
I've asked this of a lot of writers when I meet them. Yeah. What is a joke or a line besides the Kingdom? I'm talking about like something that got past censor that you're like, how did this get past?
Off of anything that I've done.
Anything you've done, where you're like, how did the censors miss it? I put it as a joke.
You know what? Okay, I get this is kind of a deep cut, but and it wasn't really meant to be this, but I worked on a preschool show called JJ the Jet Plane.
Oh, I've heard of
that. You worked on that? I used to watch that when I was a kid.
And that's John Semper again. Right?
Oh my God.
So he, like, on every show that he has done, he always gives me a couple episodes. So, I must be doing something okay. So I do this thing, and this one's about it was called Wing Wiggling. And they liked the show so much that the episode itself got its own toy, Wing Wiggling JJ. And seriously, like, when does that happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, just off a solo episode. Now, it was because they did a really catchy song on it, and he had to jump up and down. And the thing was, we always think of what is the kid thing that we want to teach them. And in this case, it was some kids get razzed for wearing glasses or maybe a brace or something for scoliosis. And so JJ doesn't fly well if he doesn't do his wing wiggling exercises in the morning, but they kind of look goofy, right? He gets into it and he's like, I fly much better. So our thing was, wear your glasses, wear your braces, or back brace or whatever, because it's healthy and it's better and whatever. So I go to a party after that season, and the animators come in and go, man, I can't believe it. You got one past him. You got one past him. And I'm like, what? What I didn't know was the 700 Club, the religious, whatever. They funded like a large part of JJ, right? And there's like, you got to pass those guys. You got to pass Jerry Falwell or whoever the famous guy is that involved in that. And I go, what? And he goes, wing wiggling, right? It's about jacking off. I go, whoa,
I had a feeling we were going for that.
And so there's 10 people around. And so I just said, yeah, I did. Right. but really, that's just like,
oh my God, that's awesome.
So it was you got past so many radars, you got past your own radar.
Yeah.
That's the Inception level, Robert. Oh
yes, it is.
Like JJ fucking turning one out in the morning. Yeah, this makes me feel good. For the
love of God, that's so good. Oh my God.
So priceless. That is one of the best ones I've heard.
No one heard that. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is so good. Oh
that is so priceless.
I should change the title of the stream to that. Ever wonder what wing wiggling is?
Oh no, don't. Yeah,
I'm only kidding. But so my last question is, what's your favorite project you have ever worked on?
Ooh, I mean, this is like Sophie's Choice, man. They're like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess I have a man. My first one is really up there. It's probably in the top 2 in that, and I don't know if you guys like this one, but it's Justice League Dark because
I love that one.
Oh yep.
I mean, and a lot of people, when they saw the first thing, they're like, oh, Batman's got to be in everything. And I thought, oh, no, this is perfect because we get the world's greatest detective with the world's greatest magical detective. And he is going to hate what
I love it. My favorite line is like when they go, "What? Batman, where did you get like all like aware or something like that?" And he goes, "I have a butler." That's my favorite line. Or like where Batman goes to Wonder Woman, "Maybe you should step out of your cave every now and then." I love that.
So I really like that one because I love Constantine. He's my favorite character actually in DC.
Really?
Don't get me wrong, I love writing. I love writing Batman and Green Lantern and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Constantine's this bastard with a heart of gold that is also shared by Guy Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love writing those two characters. Like I think
Guy.
So in my wheelhouse that it turns out pretty well when I get a chance to do it.
Follow-up question: who's your favorite Green Lantern?
I mean, it's Guy Gardner.
I'm more of a Hal Jordan, Jessica Cruz type of guy. I'm basic like that. I'm basic.
I mean, Hal's got the whole, I'm an Air Force guy, and he's so good. He's almost the Superman of Green Lanterns.
Yep.
About it. He's basically almost unbeatable, unless the writers want him beat, by Parallax or something like that. He is, his will is the strongest out of all the Green Lanterns. He's a legend, whereas Guy Gardner, he's got yes, I was one of the guards of the Guardians or whatever. And I think he trained people like Kilowog for a while at least. But there's a lot of other times where it's like, oh, this guy's too hot-headed. He's too unreliable to be, and I like that type of character that he's gonna do the right thing, but he's gonna grumble and bitch about it. I think I share that with those characters.
I love that. So, so Robert, do you have any final questions before we wrap up?
Nope, I got all my questions out.
Dope. And again, Ernie, the other thing I always tell people that come on the show that have worked on stuff that I have really enjoyed is just thank you for contributing to DC and for everything you made or contributed to.
Well, yeah. Thank you guys for having me on, and I thank the people that allowed me to do it. I mean, certainly Warner Brothers has given me more chances than anyone, and I loved going in there when I got to do Green Lantern staff writers, like going in every day, and on Sunday, this is like I'm like 40, 45 at that time. On Sunday night, I couldn't go to sleep because I was so eager to drive the hour into the office. Like, get to sleep. It was like Christmas morning. Like, I want to get there. It was so fun. And those animators and stuff we would just talk nerd stuff, talk Green Lantern lore. Giancarlo Volpe was the showrunner or the animation supervisor on that, and Jim Krieg also was my boss on that. It was just so fun. I mean, those guys were just into it, and Bruce Timm. It's like I got to work with Bruce Timm on a Bruce Timm show, and I think it's one of his best. I think it's in his top.
Oh, it definitely is. Green Lantern is so good. But speaking of Guy Gardner, one of my favorite occasions where Guy first shows up and like Hal Jordan's like, great, this guy, and then the Guardian, even the Guardians are like, Guy, good to see you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is like a total Guy Gardner fan except for Hal. I love that.
I mean, we did it for that show, but it would probably be the opposite.
It would be the opposite, yeah, exactly. But I love that.
It's like Guy Gardner's the type of guy who builds a bar, and the Guardians would be like, what the,
Yeah. That's exactly what he did in the comics. He exactly did that in the comics. He built a bar. I know what.
Yeah, and then the Guardians are like, we didn't authorize this.
Yeah. My favorite's always been with Jon Stewart, the fake news guy.
Yeah. What? The fake news guy? Yeah,
exactly.
Love that joke.
I love that. So Ernie, let the audience know where they can find you and what you got coming out. Besides the comic, if you got any other stuff you want to tease.
Well, okay. So I believe I'm the only Ernie Altbacker. I am the only Ernie Altbacker in the United States. So if you get at Ernie Altbacker on Facebook and X or Insta and LinkedIn, and I don't think I'm joining any others. I'm not going to be dancing on TikTok. Sorry. Or Twitch or whatever. So that's it. Happy to take questions if you follow me on anything, or even just go, you ruined my childhood. I get some of that too with
come on,
killing off the Flash. That's a toughie. Changing the ending of Batman Hush.
Come on.
I remember for Justice League Dark, there was a person who was like, not enough we got Swamp Thing into that. James Tucker wanted to, and I gave him like 2 kind of cherry scenes, and one of the reviews was not enough Swamp Thing, 1 star. I'm like,
you gotta be kidding me.
1 star for that?
You mother effer. We got him in, so now he can be in. It's like you get no credit for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some on each side. So you guys are the lovers of stuff like this.
Heck yeah.
You can roll with most of it. But Aztec Batman's still kind of rolling out.
It's good.
He had a theatrical run. And my Weather Hunters episode on John Shemper's new show, Weather Hunters, will be coming out at some point. I did some not Nexo Nights, but Lego Dreams. I believe I'm in there for, 4 or 5 episodes in the last 2 seasons. And I've almost got this deal memo on another, like a comic deal, which is an original idea that I really, really want to do.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
I can't announce it yet.
Yeah.
And I've got this other movie that if you notice the shirt, Smod Castle Film Festival, it was the 4th season. So I wrote a live action movie, super low budget. We shot it in Hungary in English. The actors could speak English, and it is an action comedy about 2 bumbling private detectives, and it is called Dicks.
Private dicks. I get it.
I wanted to call it the fiasco, and the director settled on dicks, and I hated it at first because I'm like, this is going to be next to like Weather Hunters on my IMDb, like that, followed by dicks, and then Aztec Batman. They're going to be like, oh man, what does this guy write? What perversity now? So it's pretty hilarious. It won. It ended up winning Best Comedy Feature at Kevin Smith's festival in August.
Yeah.
And so now they're looking around. I think it opens up in Europe, if you're in Hungary, in January. Yeah. But they're looking for a distributor here, and I think it might come out on like DVD at some
nice.
Yeah, and the other stuff you can't, when you're working on something that's still not announced, you can't say anything.
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
I see how it is. It's all good. All of his links will be in the description. Before we wrap up, I will be playing the trailer for my project once. I got to do it. I'm also in the promo thing, so let's do this.
Oh, the Kickstarter.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sintragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
So that's Athena.
Well, look at that. So you have you made your own Wonder Woman. You like her so much.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Very much so. It's a big part of why I did is because like I wasn't a big fan of the way DC has handled that character of late. So I figured let me do like my version of the character so I can, instead of like constantly complaining in front of a camera, as fun as that is, it's like I might as well just like throw my hat in the ring.
You know what? I sent that email to you or that text where I was like, yeah, I got this project. I'd love to get a chance to be on your show and plug it. And Jared sent back an answer going, yeah, we can plug each other. And I'm like, who's this guy?
I said mutual promo. I said mutual promo.
That's the first text he sent me was that. I'm like, we don't know each other well enough for you to send this.
Nice one, Jared. Nice one.
But now it's A-okay. You know what? We should definitely like help each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why don't we grab each other's digital copies at least? Right?
I got you, dude. I'll do it.
We'll just trade money.
I got you. That'll work.
But it'll be one. It'll be one more follower, right?
Might as well
for the algorithm. For whatever it does. But
well, stay at work, everyone. And yes, Lois Lane sucks. I have to say that one more time. So see you guys later. Bye.